Hey everyone, this is Teresa from Base 10 Montessori, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to compile all my snake games together into one video so that you don't have to jump to all the different links to see all the different videos. Now I have 4 different lessons on the snake game. I have the addition snake game with the first control of error. I have the extension snake game for the addition snake game, plus a second control of error. Then I have the subtraction snake game, and then the control of error for the subtraction snake game, and then I have the extension of the subtraction snake game. So that's 4 different lessons on the snake game, and that also includes 2 different control of errors for the addition snake game and 1 control of error for the subtraction snake game. So in this video, you're going to find all 4 of those videos have been compiled together. I'm going to put the chapter marks down below so that you can easily navigate through this video. And that way, if you want to have just one video with all of these lessons together and make it a little bit easier to navigate through all the different lessons and kind of see how they all work together or are different from one another, hopefully this video will help you do that. Now I'll also put the links down below in the comment section to each individual video if you would rather have the individual videos. So from time to time, I am going to compile my videos and put groups of videos together that I've already made in hopes that this will help you just a little bit more in terms of what is the actual flow of the lessons, and put these lessons together a little bit more in what it would feel like in an album. That being said, when it comes to the snake game, we don't go from addition snake game straight to subtraction snake game. The proper order from the AMI standpoint is actually to do the addition snake game and then do the addition strip board and get into those addition finger charts before introducing the subtraction snake game. So I will probably also eventually put together a video of the proper order of group 4 lessons. But I thought it might be helpful to put together a video of all the different snake games together. Now, if you're wondering how all of this is organized on my channel, I do have a playlist section, so let's look at that real quick. So if you click on the playlists right here, you're going to see that I have a lot of playlists up on my YouTube channel, and grammar or function of words is one section, and I'm going to start getting into that in November. But then I also have group 1 math, which is the introductions. I have group 5 math, which is passage to abstraction. I have group 2 math, which is the decimal system. I have group 6 math, which is the fractions. Group 3 math, which is teens and tens with linear and skip counting. And then right here, this is where the snake game goes. It's going to be in group 4 math exploration and memorization of math facts. So that's in group 4, and that's where all the extra videos will be. And anytime I make a presentation on a group 4 material, like the addition strip board is already in there as well as the finger charts, but anything I do in group 4 is going to go into this playlist. Now, if you're exploring the playlist, you're going to find that no, I haven't done every single lesson in my album yet. So there are a lot of lessons left to go. There are a lot of things that I need to fill in all of these playlists. It takes a long time for me to do that, so be patient with me. I can only film so much at a time. So I will eventually be filling in all of these playlists as we go along. So please remember to explore that if you're looking for a way to organize the information on this channel that you're seeing and trying to figure out what is the flow of the curriculum. So with that being said, let's jump into this video on all of the snake game presentations all together. So the child has already worked with the golden bead system for the decimal system lessons. So they've done addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division with the golden beads before this game. And they've worked with the colored beads with the bead chains in linear counting and skip counting. Now to start the snake game, we want to introduce the black and white beads, and we want to go through and we're going to count each one and show the child that they're really just like these colored beads, right? So this unit bead right here is just like the red unit bead. After 5, you can point out to them that we're going to count to 5, and then the 6th bead is white. So each of these is 5, then the 7 bead has 2 white, the 8 bead has 3 white, the 9 bead has 4 white. And the reason why we're doing that is just because it makes it a little bit easier to count. So we're going to make it in this inverted triangle right here
on the corner of our mat. So what we want to do first is just get a bunch of colored beads. Doesn't really matter how many. Now, some people really like to make sure that when you do the snake game the first time, it's perfect. I don't really worry about that too much. I'm going to make this kind of a shorter snake because I want to make sure you can see all of it on this video. So I'm not going to do a very long snake today. So we're going to get all of these colored beads out. We're going to make kind of a rainbow snake, right? And that's why it's called the snake game, because we're making a snake. So you feel free to make it as snake-like as you would like. There's no right or wrong. And there we go. There's our snake. Now to start with, we're going to grab our little counter device. This just helps the child count. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can take those little plastic things off of bread wrappers and use those. They work just fine too. I've used those in classrooms because these tend to get lost a lot and you don't want to keep buying them. So be innovative, use what's around you. You don't have to have anything fancy for this. So before we start this game, I'm going to tell the child, you know what? We have this beautiful rainbow snake right here. And we want to turn it into a golden snake. I'm going to show you how to do that. We're simply going to count to 10, and every time we get to 10, we're going to say stop. And when we stop, something's going to happen, and I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. Now, since we've already worked with the golden bead system, the child knows that when we get to 10, something special happens. And let's see if they remember what that is. What happens when we get to 10? We have to stop and exchange. So here's our golden bead, right? There are 10 golden beads here. So we're going to put our golden bead right here. And let's see. We have 10 right here, but there's how many left over? 1, 2, 3. Can we just break it off? We have 3 left over. What do we do with that? Well, that's when we go to our black and white beads. See, our black and white beads, they're our placeholders, so we don't have to break our colored beads. So that works out pretty well, doesn't it? So now we're going to take our colored beads away. Pick them up. We're just going to put them in the black and white box right here. Let's make a little bit of room for our placeholder. Now we have part of our snake turning golden. Let's get our counter and start counting again. We're going to start with the first black bead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here we go. Let's get our golden bead. And there are 2 left over. Let's get our placeholder here. So we don't need our placeholder for 3 anymore because it's part of the golden bead. And we don't need our colored bead anymore because we've got our golden bead and our placeholder. So let's start counting, starting with our black bead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you see that? We went past the blue and we just kept counting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop, right? So now we've got all of these together. Let's grab our extra 10 here. Look at that. We only have 1 left over. So we're going to use our 1 placeholder. So our colored beads get to go back in. And our placeholder is going to go back into our inverted triangle, which is starting to look a little sloppy. So maybe I'll straighten it up. It does get a little bit messy. Okay, so let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, we can only do 4. We didn't make a full golden snake. Let's see here. We're going to need the 4. We can't leave any of the colored beads out. Your snake needs to end with either a golden bead or a black and white. So that's why I like to show an imperfect snake to begin with, because most likely when the child is doing this on their own, they're not going to make a perfect snake. So I really want to show them what happens if they don't make a perfect 10 at the very end. So we just leave it right there. Now we have all of our colored beads in here. So I'm going to show you how to do the first control of error. This is how we check to see if we did the work correctly. So I'm going to put that down. And I'm going to move my golden beads from my snake down here. And then I'm going to take all my colored beads out. These are the ones we used to make the snake at the beginning. And if we did it right, they should match up perfectly. So let's see, we have 10 beads right here. So let me see here. We need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's a 9. How many does it take to make 10? 9 plus what? 1. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These both are 10. They match. So we can match our colored beads to our golden beads. Let's see what else we have. Now, this is where it starts to get a little tricky, right? We have to look for the correct combinations. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. What do we need to make a 10? And hopefully the child has been working on their addition so that they know 6 plus 4 is 10, right? So now let's see, let's use this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 here. Now, what combination do we need to make 10? We need a 3, don't we? But we don't have a 3. We have a 2, but that's not enough, is it? So what we need to do is we have to go in here and we have to exchange. I have a 5, and I can break this 5 into different combinations. So let's say we have a 2 and a 3 together make 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll put my 5 back. I've exchanged it for this combination. And now let's see if we can do it. 7 and 3 is 10. Now we have this leftover one that didn't make a perfect golden 10, but that's okay because it still matches with what's left over. We have 4 here and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is called the control of error. This is how we know that we did the work correctly. We can check our work. We can make our rainbow snake, we can turn it into a golden snake, and then we can check it and see if everything matches up. And remember, if you don't have quite the right combination, it's okay to go into your extras and find a different combination that will work. You just have to exchange it for a combination that will make the perfect 10. So what is the purpose of this work? Well, the purpose of this work is to help the child become more abstract in doing addition. Before this, we've been very concrete with our work. We've done the stamp game, we've done the decimal system, and we've done linear counting and skip counting. Now we really want the child to start memorizing math facts. We really want the child to understand what are all the different combinations of 10. So this really just gives a very concrete way of understanding what combinations make 10. So this presentation of the addition snake game is called 2 by 2 or in isolation. As you can see, just like in our other lesson, we have our nice colored snake. And just like in the previous addition snake game lesson, our goal is to turn this into a golden snake because we are making combinations of 10. And of course, 10 is our golden bead. So we are going to make a golden snake just like last time, but we're just going to make it look a little bit different. So when we talk about starting the snake game for this extension lesson, we're going to call it
2 by 2 or in isolation. And we're just going to take 2 at a time and we're going to isolate them and we're going to count them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. So just like last time, once we get to 10, we stop and exchange it for a golden bead. So here we've exchanged it, but we still have one left, right? So just like before, we get our placeholder and there's our leftover, right? So we take this out. These we're going to save for our control of error, just like last time. And now we're going to put it back into the snake. And that's essentially the difference in this part of the snake game, is we're just going to isolate them 2 at a time. So let's bring the next 2 back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So we didn't get to 10 this time. All of this together makes 6. So we can't get a golden bar yet, but we can go up here, get one of our black and whites, right? And so we're going to keep that, put this one back in our inverted triangle. We're going to keep our colored bead in our box right here. And then this goes back up into the snake. Now, just remember, we always start counting with a colored bead or a black and white bead, never from the golden bead. So let's bring this one back down. And bring the next 2 together, right? So let's count. So we know that this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. There's our 10. And we have 2 left. So we have our 2 placeholder right here. Let's put our black and white back. Let's put our colored bead back in our box to save for our control of error. Let's put this back. And now we have to bring these back down 2 by 2. And sometimes it's easy to forget to bring them down. That's what makes this just a little bit tricky, is bringing them down into isolation. Sometimes you just keep counting and you keep going and you forget to bring them down. So that can be the tricky part right there. But it's much easier with the addition snake game than it is with the subtraction snake game. That one does get a little trickier. So this is pretty easy right here, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop, right? So we have to go back up here, find our 6. Got to get our placeholder. We're going to keep the colored bead, put the 2 back. Bring our snake back together, and then bring it back down, right? I like putting it that way. All right, so we've got our 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. 10. And then how many did we have left? We have 1 left over. Right there. So our black and white goes back. Colored bead goes here. Put our snake back together, right? And as you can see, just like before, we're turning our rainbow snake into a golden snake. So bring our next 2 down in isolation. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have enough to make a golden bead, but we do have enough for our placeholder. So we're going to grab our black placeholder with the 5 beads on it. Put that back there. Make sure to put your colored bead back in the box to save for your control of error. Now let's make our snake, right? Here we go. It's getting more golden all the time. So let's bring our next 2 down. So right here, we know this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. We have our golden. We can bring that here. We have 1 left over.
grab our placeholder, put our black one back, put our colored bead back in our box. And there we go, put our snake back together. And now let's bring down our next ones, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop. Not enough to make a golden 10, but we have enough for our placeholder right here, our 6. And let's put that back. We're almost done, right? So let's bring this back down in isolation. There we go. So we know this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. We've got our 10. We've exchanged it. 1, 2, 3 is our leftover. So right here, we'll put that back. I'm going to take this off, put it back, and we have finished our snake. Now sometimes if you make a perfect combination of 10 all the way through, it'll be completely golden. But if you have any leftovers, you keep it in the black beads. The black and white beads stay right there. Now here we're going to go to the control of error number 2. This is where we are going to discover whether or not we did it right. Okay, so here we are. We're going to do our control of error. Now, it's going to look a little bit different this time. If you're Montessori trained, this control of error is going to look a little bit like another lesson that comes later on. And that is still in group 4, but it's called the bead bar layout. So when we're doing this control of error, it's going to look more like the multiplication bead bar layout lesson, which comes in this box right here. I have not done that lesson yet. It's on my list of things to do. So maybe when I get done with the snake games, we'll go into the bead bar layout with this. But this control of error, the second control of error that we're doing with the addition snake game today, that actually is going to look a lot like the lesson that goes with this bead bar layout. So I will get around to doing that bead bar layout after I do the extension lesson for the snake game, but I'm also going to start a series on grammar. So I will have it out. It's just whether or not I get it out before December. So let's get back to doing the second control of error for the extension lesson on the addition snake game. And at this point, we have our golden beads and our leftover, our remaining black beads right here. And now we're just going to empty out our box of colored beads that we have saved from our game. So bring those out. Going to move this out of the way. And we're going to look for the largest one. Now, I didn't use very many because I didn't want to make this a super long video. So we're just going to start with the biggest set of beads right here. So these are our 7 bars right here. So that's the largest one I put in this snake game. So we're going to start with that right there. And next comes our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our 6 bars. We're going to line it up like that. And then let's see here. Got our 5s. And then our 4s. And I made this a pretty simple lesson, so that's all I have. So as you see, we're going to put them by category and line them up just like this. Now, you are also going to need, for this control of error, your box of extra colored beads. These are the ones that we started with before the game. They are not the ones we saved during the game. So this is just our extra spare colored beads that we did not use so far for this game. You're going to need that for some exchanging. So make sure that's available because we're going to have to do some exchanging here. And so we're just going to start with our largest one, and we are going to start counting. And every time we get to 10, we're going to go ahead and get that 10 bar again. And then whatever's left over, we're going to have to get a colored bead. And I'll show you how that works right now. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. So we've got 10 right here, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Now I'm going to hold off on using this black bead right now. We have 4 left, so that's not enough for a golden bead. Let me move this over. That's not enough for a golden bead, right? So we're going to have to break it. Only you can't break the golden beads. That would be terrible. So instead, let's break it by exchanging it, right? So we need a 4. So we need to come over here to our box. We need a 4 because that's what's left over. So let me see, where are our 4s at? I have a 4 right here. So see, 4. And if I have 4, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need a 6. All right, well, let's see here. I've got a 6 right here. And that's what's left over. So we have broken our golden beads by exchanging it for our extra colored beads. And what we can do with this now is put it back in its golden bead box. We're finished with it. So that's all done. So we're going to keep going now. This one's done. So this is 14, right? And this is also 14. So it just shows 2 different ways we can make the number 14. Let's do the same thing for the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. Right? We do have a 10, so we can do that. Now we have 2 left. And I don't have a 2 up here, but I do have a 6, and we can exchange that, right? So I'm going to start with a 2. Here's a 2, right? I've got 2 left. And if I have that, how many's left over? Well, I have a 4 that's left over. So we'll put that back up there. There we go. So 6 and 6 is 12. 10 and 2 is also 12, right? There's 2 different ways to show it. Now let's go right here to our 5s. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. Golden 10 right here. How many's left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 left over. Let's see. I don't have much left over, but I bet I can make a 5 if I do 4, 5 right here. Right? That makes 5. And then I have 2 left over right there. So I need another 2. This we'll put back with our inverted pyramid. We're going to put that right there. This comes down here, and that can go back over here. All right. So 5, 10, 15, right? This makes 15. This also makes 15. Let's go to our 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. Okay. I've got my 10 bar right there. And how many do I have left over? 2. So this is 12. This is also 12. And look at that. Everything matched up. To start with, we want to show what is already familiar to the child. So there are a lot of things about the subtraction snake game that are the same as the addition snake game. For instance, we're going to build our black and white inverted triangle, and that's going to come from the black and white box. And then, of course, the colored beads are going to be familiar. That's what we use for doing the addition snake game. And in the addition snake game, we use the colored beads to turn them into a golden snake with the golden beads. But now we're going to show what happens when we introduce these gray beads. And the gray beads are going to look similar to the black and white beads. So now we're ready to show what is different about the subtraction snake game. So as you can see with the gray beads, we have a light side and a dark side. And this is going to contrast the black and white beads. Let me show you what it looks like if we put these in an inverted triangle, just like the black and white beads. So the gray beads are going to follow a similar pattern, but this time the light beads come first and the darker beads come second, which is the opposite of the black and white beads. Now we're going to introduce a brand new rule with these gray beads. We're going to introduce how they take away. But first, let's build our snake before we introduce our rules. We're going to start off really, really small. We're not going to do a very long snake. So I'm going to put these extras back in the box. So notice I didn't use every single one of the gray beads. I only used a few. And one of the important rules when making this snake is that we have to have at least the same amount of colored beads as we do gray beads. It's okay to have more of the colored beads, but we can't have less colored beads than the gray beads because then we get into negative numbers. We're going to start off with the same ideas as the addition snake game. So every time we get to 10, we're going to stop and exchange for a golden 10. Whatever placeholder we're going to need, we're going to use the black and white beads. And then when we get to a gray bead, we're going to stop and take away. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's 10. We can stop and exchange for a golden bead. Now let's see how many we have left over that we need a placeholder for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to go up here. 5, 6, 7. Here's our placeholder. And now just like with the addition snake game, we're going to put our colored beads in the black and white box, and we're going to save those for the very end so we can do our control of error. Now, just like the addition snake game, we're always going to start counting with that black and white bead right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, stop. We didn't get to 10, but we did get to a gray bead. So that means we have to stop and take away. However, before we can do that, we need to exchange this for a black and white because we can't take away from a colored bead. So we've got 7, 8, 9. Let's find our 9. Let's exchange that. Put that one back. This one goes into our box to save for later. And now we can take away. And how many are we going to take away? 1, 2, 3. We're going to take away 3. So let's count backwards. 1, 2, 3. 3. Now we're going to take our gray beads and we're going to put them in our black and white box with our colored beads. And we're going to save both of these for later to do our control of error. Now that we've taken away, what do you notice? Our snake is getting shorter. And the more we take away, the more the snake is going to disappear. Let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. We have 10, so we're going to stop and exchange. We have 2 left over, so we need our placeholder. The colored bead goes back into the box. The black and white bead goes into our inverted triangle. Okay, so let's start counting with our black and white. 1, 2, stop. As you can see, we have to take away. How many do we have to take away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to take away 7 this time. So let's count back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Here's our 5. We're going to put that one back. Now, this golden bead we don't need anymore, so we're going to put it back into the box. And remember, these gray beads, we're going to keep those in our black and white box, and we're going to save them for the very end. Our snake just got a little bit shorter. Let's start counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Get our placeholder. All right. Black and white goes back into the triangle. Colored bead goes into the box. And now let's start counting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. How many we're going to take away? We're going to take away 1. That leaves us with 3. And that finishes our snake. Now we have to do our control of error and see if we made any mistakes. Let's take everything out of the black and white box. So we have our golden beads and our leftover black bead. And then we have our gray beads. Let's put our colored beads up here for a moment. Get them out of our way. We have our gray beads that we're going to set up. And we have our golden beads. Let's fix that inverted triangle so it looks kind of nice. Now we have to match the colored beads to the gray beads. So they have to match. So first we have 5, 6, 7. Well, I don't have a 7, but I do have an 8. So I'm going to exchange that for a 7 and a 1. So I'm going to go to our box and I'm going to make an exchange. 7 and 1 makes 8. So I'm going to put that to the side because we don't need that anymore because we made an exchange. There's 7 and there's 1. I have a 3. Now I don't have a 3 in my colored beads, so maybe I'll take my 6 and I'll break it into 2 3s. So we've exchanged the 6. Now let's see, I can take this 3 and put it right here. And that leaves me with these 2 9s, but I'll have to break this 2 into 1s for it to match up perfectly. So let's do that. Exchange those for a 1.
And that's it. That is how we match everything to make sure we did the work correctly. And that is how we do the subtraction snake game. So this is going to start out the same as the addition. We're going to bring it down 2 by 2. Let's get our counter, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. So right here, it's working just like addition. We're going to have our golden bead here. That makes 10. And we have 1 left over. So let's get our placeholder right here. And we are going to keep our colored beads in our box right here for our control of error later. So let's make our snake again, right? Put it back together. There it is. Now let's bring down the next 2. Again, just like addition. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop. We couldn't make a golden bead right here, so we're going to have to use one of our black and whites as a placeholder. So put that right there. And this goes in our box to save for our control of error. Here we go. Put that back together. Bring it back down. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, we couldn't make that 10, right? But we're going to go to our black and whites, which are our placeholders. And we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll put this back. Keep our 2. Put this in here. And now we're going to get to our first gray bar. And so as we're counting, we'll go with 5, 6, 7, 8, stop. Uh-oh, what happens? What's the rule for when we get to our gray beads? It means we have to stop and take away. So we're going to put our gray bar down here. And we're going to put our black and white right here. So we've got 5, 6 right here. So we have to take away 6. Well, let's see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop. We can take away those 6, but we'll have 2 remaining. So we're going to have 2 remaining. That's our remainder right there. So what we're going to do is the black and whites, go back, and we're saving our gray bar right here. Look at that. Our snake just started to shrink on us. Try to move this so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so 2 by 2, right? There's no gray bars here, so we're going to work it like it is addition. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stop, right? That can't make 10, but we can go to our black and whites, 5, 6, 7. So there's our placeholder. Put this one back, save that one, build our snake. Now we're going to bring our next 2 down. So look at that. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stop. So close. Not quite 10 yet. But let's bring that one down. Put this one back. Save this one. All right. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Okay, so we've got 9 and, oh, stop. Look at this. We have to stop and take away. So let's bring them down for subtraction. How many are we taking away? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that we're going to take away. Look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right here and then stop. What's left? Well, that's a 5. So we have 5 left over. So we're going to keep our gray bar, set that aside. We're going to put this back, and this goes back into our snake, and look at that. Our snake has shrunk. It's not very gold. There's only 1 gold bar. So let's bring this down. Look at this, the black and the brown together. Those are both still addition. There's no gray bars, so we can do addition here. Let me move this over just a little bit so you can see better. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stop. All right, so we made 10, right? We made 10, and we have 3 left. Right there. Put this one back. Keep this one for later. And now we have this. And look at that. And we're going to start counting right here. 1, 2, 3, stop. This is a gray bar. We got to subtract. Bring that down. How many are we going to take away? 1, 2. Okay, let's take away 1, 2. 1, 2, stop. We can take away 2. We're going to have 1 left. Keep that one. Put this one back. And we've reached the end. So if I have done this right, we are going to set this up like the first control of error, and everything should match. So let's do that. We're going to check our work. All right, so now we're going to take out our gray bars first. So we're going to set those up. sure you can see it. Sometimes I forget to check the camera and whether or not you can actually see what I'm doing. So try to remember to do that. Like I said, it gets tricky trying to focus on the lesson and also pay attention to what the camera is doing. All right, so right here we have our setup. Now we have to see if our colored beads match. So let's bring them out. Let's see if we have any matches here. So this is 5, 6. I don't have any 6s here. Do I have a 4? I do have a 4. Let's start with just the ones that match. And then we have a 2, so that matches, right? I don't have a 1. Let's see, for the 10s, I do have a 5 and a 5. And I do have an 8 and a 2. Now, this one is left over. This one is a 7, so I can break it into a 6 and a 1. So let's do that. So we're going to go to our box of leftover colored beads, ones we haven't used. So we're going to go to the box there and exchange. So this makes 6 and 7. I don't need this one anymore, so I put it back into my extra stash here. And this matches with the 6. This matches with the 1. And everything matches. The control of error worked. We didn't make a mistake, so everything worked. Now, the one thing I will make sure to point out is, let's say you're making your golden snake, right? During the lesson, if you're making your golden snake and it's looking like this, and you run into a gray bar, let me move this out of the way for the moment, and you have to break the golden bead bar. My trainer showed me during the lesson that you have to break this down, right? You're going to take away from the golden bead. So you have 6 right here, so you're going to have to take away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll take that away. How many do you have left? 4, right? 4. The golden bead bar can just go back in its stash. We don't need it anymore. And then this, you're going to want to save in your box for your control of error. I didn't show you that during the snake game. We didn't have a scenario where it worked like that, where you had to take away from a golden bead. But if you get into that situation where you're bringing the golden bead down, we in training just took away from the golden bead. But if you would rather exchange it, if you would rather break it up, that's fine. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, like that. Find your exchange. Find your leftover, your exchange right there. And then the golden bead goes back. And make sure to save your gray bars for your control of error at the end. So that's just a scenario that I didn't get a chance to show you in the example that I did. So hopefully that makes sense. If that didn't make sense, please let me know, and I will do a follow-up video to make sure that I do a better job of making a clear and concise presentation. So anyways, that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, remember to give it a thumbs up, press that like button, and please share this with somebody that you think might appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, help my channel grow, and I will see you in the next video.